Hello, everybody, and welcome to the All Around Podcast. We are Players of the Round Table, and this is episode...
No, Jeremy. This isn't that podcast.
Oh, shit.
No, yeah, it's not.
Flashbacks. This room brings back memories. But I'm looking at you this time, so yes. I'm more uncomfortable. I think that's why I started with the wrong podcast.
Yeah, so Jeremy, why don't I do this one? Let me do you a favor this one.
This is your show, not
mine. This one is mine.
Okay.
So, welcome everyone to Boom Mic Banter. This is episode 5. With me today is honestly a guest that I've wanted to have since episode 1. He was, honest to God, like the first guest that I legitimately had planned out. I couldn't think of a better companion to have on, and that today is Jeremy. Jeremy, how the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm here. We're doing this again. This is fantastic. It's not. No, it's not absolutely. It's absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. It is. It's absolutely fantastic.
I'm so
100% goals.
I've been so excited. I mean, you and me have been riffing now for like 2 hours before we actually started recording.
I mean, what time is it? I've been here for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it's like 2-3 hours.
A little over 2 hours.
Oh God! So
ate some pizza, drank some beers.
Yeah. So I was about to say, yeah, we've been hanging out. We've been having a good time. Yeah, like I said, this has been a plan in the making now for so long, and I'm so honored to start. I'm gonna give you 36 compliments when we wrap up the podcast.
Oh,
no,
don't do that.
No, I will. You have to deal with it. This is my show now, Jeremy. I get to throw you as many compliments like goddamn well, please.
I'm not gonna say no.
Good. There we go.
I'm gonna be humble.
So exactly. So like I said, I'm very honored to have you on.
I'm very honored to be here.
So Jeremy, for people that don't know. We have a little bit of a very complicated history. By complicated, it's not that complicated. We just have some history.
I mean, that sounds like we dated. I don't think we dated.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. Just because it wasn't Facebook official does not mean...
I mean...
Well, Jeremy, we were in a very committed situation
for
over a year.
We were in a committed relationship.
Yes.
We were.
Yes.
Just not the romantic
Just not romantic.
We were definitely committed.
Mm-hmm.
And it got complicated. But
So, Jeremy...
So Nick,
because I talk too much, why don't you give the listeners a semi overview of what we used to do?
Okay, so almost a year ago now.
Yeah, almost 2
years ago we started.
Yes,
what was our first venture into multimedia things, and Nick and I decided one day we were gonna start a podcast, and it became what we then called Players of the Round Table, which, that was a little joke in the beginning. If you watched the podcast or listened to it before we went video, you'd get that. And we did podcasts, we did streaming. We started the podcast on SoundCloud. We moved it to video. And we did a lot with YouTube. I don't remember how many episodes we had, but we had a lot.
We had a ton.
And each episode was like an hour.
We did it for about like a year and a half.
Yeah. Each episode was like a year.
A year. Each episode.
Each episode was like an hour to an hour and a half, and we talked about video games, and we were talking about movies and pops and stuff, but it went on for like too long, so we shortened it just video games. And we got to streaming, and it was fun.
We did a bunch.
And then life just got complicated, and I switched jobs, and things changed, and it was harder to get down here on a regular basis, so we just kind of ended it. We never really gave it closure, though. We might do that this episode. Give it closure.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Well, see, I like this is to be honest. We were glimpsing about it before, but I did want to like stall our conversation so we could talk about it now. But the one thing I did like about the way that because we technically just like parted with it, but it is still technically up on YouTube and stuff.
It is.
So it is something that always still could get picked up.
Yeah.
It's just it's left.
It's on an indefinite hiatus.
Yes, exactly. Like it's there. It's in its slumber, and worst case we could pick it up, worst case it stays where it is. Yeah. Best case it gets picked up again, but it's at least where it's at. But I do gotta say, like it's stuff like that. Like you were very lucky. Because you had a lot of, at least let's just even generalize and say entertainment-esque experience before doing something like that. But for me, that was by far like my first major introduction into it. So I would definitely not. So like, first of all, thank you again, because I literally wouldn't be here if it was not for that podcast and literally like us getting into that and me like learning the fucking tricks of the trade and shit. So, thank you again. Going into your previous entertainment type stuff, you're kind of the music man.
Yeah, I like to think of myself as a music man. I don't know if I'd go the music man, but I am a music man.
You're the music man. You have a lot of music projects going on.
I do. I have
and
three.
you just picked up more. Like within the past couple months, you picked up 2 more. You had one big one that's been going on forever. So
So
by all means, do all this shameless plugging. Let's get it out of the way.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk myself up. I'll just go info. We're not gonna. This is not an infomercial. This is just info on what I do.
Yeah.
So. I have 3 major projects. Mm-hmm. Well, let me rephrase that. I have 3 projects, one of them being major, 2 of them picking up steam.
Yeah. Well, you just started the other 2, so yeah.
So,
totally.
Better Than Nothing is the name of my main band. Mm-hmm. And that band started in 2011, kind of by accident, because they started a benefit. They were going to play a benefit. And
can you tell me the origin story?
I think, did I tell you?
Well, I mean, for the listeners.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But so
I think you told me this like forever ago. But honest to God, I definitely don't remember the full details.
So the band started because 2 of the members of the band at the time, they were brothers. They were very into the music scene in Berks County, which is where I'm from. I'm also not from down here, so we'll make that a point. My whole music stuff is all up in Berks County, the Reading area. So. Basically, the way it started was these 2 brothers had a very big thing in the music scene. They were known. They had a couple bands, never really together, but they had to go play a benefit, or got asked to play a benefit, rather. And their uncle had to do with it, and they put a band together. It was a 5-piece. They had 2 guitar players, a singer, a bass player, and a drummer, and they needed a name. And they couldn't think of one, so they just came up with a random name. I don't remember what it was. And their uncle was like, well, I guess that's better than nothing. And they were like, nope, that's it right there.
That's way better.
Better than nothing. So that's how it started. We're a cover band. We don't do any originals. It's all covers. But I don't want to say everything because that makes me sound very conceited and egotistical. But it literally is everything. We'll go from... cover of Luke Bryan to Metallica to Earth, Wind and Fire to...
I mean, yeah, I've seen your shows. You go all over
everything.
the place.
So,
yeah. Not in a bad way. It's just you guys jump around, which is good.
At the end of the night now, we either do Don't Stop Believing by Journey or Bodies by Drowning Pool. It's one of those 2. And we just picked up a whole bunch of new songs, like Smells Like Teen Spirit, and we picked up like Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith, and we did Africa.
Oh, of course.
The Weezer version.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in that band, hypothetically, since 2011, which is when they started.
Mm-hmm.
But back then I was running lights, just doing sound, so I wasn't allowed to be in bars. I was 16 years old.
Yep.
So they got me in bars by saying, they were paying me to be an intern to run lights and stuff.
Was that like your first even like band gig job, even like not necessarily like in the band, but at least like around the band?
Yeah.
Did you do stuff like that before then? Or?
No, I mean, well, the only thing that I did before was I played at my school talent show in a really shitty band that we made in high school that then played one show that sounded like shit, so we stopped.
Okay.
But that was pretty much the only prior experience I had.
So how did you meet up with them? Or was it like a light job you just had generically and then you met up with them? Or?
Nope. So my mom used to go out to see bands all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And... Bernie, who was one of the brothers that started the band, Bernie was kind of in the same boat as I am, where he started playing in bars, in bands at 19 years old.
That's cool.
He was a guitar player. He played in his dad's band at like 16. And he went on to start his own band and join up with some other ones. And my mom got to go, to know him for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he started to give me guitar lessons. But his schedule, because he did sound for a semi-touring band. They're a cover band. They were called Crystal Rocks.
Okay.
But they toured up and down the East Coast, where they'd go Vermont one night, Maryland the next night, New York the next night. And they would only do like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. But he did sound for them. So he was like never home. Mm-hmm. So he gave me like 4 guitar lessons, and the rest I just kind of figured out based off of what he gave me.
Yeah.
Well, the one night, or the one afternoon, he's over for a guitar lesson. And he's like, hey, listen, so... we have a show coming up here in like a week or so. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. He's like, I need somebody who's smart, who can pick things up quick, to come and run a light show. And I was like, I don't know anybody. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you want. Yeah, he was like, well, I want you to do it. And I said, I can't. I'm 16. You're playing in a bar. Mm-hmm. So I said, I can't do that. And he said, well, why don't you come and sit down? I'll show you the light board.
Yeah. Like, check it out. And
yeah, see if you can do it. Well, within 20 minutes, I'm sitting there programming lights, moving them around, making a light show, making things move and stuff. And he said, okay, so tonight you're going to come back and you're going to run lights and I'll give you $60. And I said...
Can't be a bad gig at 16.
Yeah, I said, great. You know, I get to sit here in the music scene and fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I do it. And then they have like a show or two more and they play in smaller places. They don't need a light show. They have a sound guy. So they didn't need me. Well, then they play this giant benefit thing and they were providing lights and Bernie said to me, he said, there's 6 bands. Mm-hmm. We need a light guy for the whole show. We're using our lights. Do you want to do it?
God damn.
And I said, it's a benefit. I'm assuming I'm not getting paid. And he said, I'll give you $300. And I said, all right, let's go. Let's do it. So I went and I did it. And then Bernie actually wound up talking to the drummer of Crystal Rocks. And I went to a couple of their shows and ran lights. And they gave me like $120, $200, you know, stuff like that.
Starting to hustle.
Yeah. And I started to pick it up rather quickly. So I became their official light guy. And even if they didn't need lights, I went and helped with sound.
That's great.
Meaning I picked stuff up and put it down. I plugged it in. I didn't actually run anything. Yeah. I was just there. And Bernie would let me get up and sing. I'd sing a song or play guitar on a song and stuff like that. And it was
That's
fun.
cool. Yeah.
Fast forward. Bernie kicks his brother out of the band. Whole band changes. They get a keyboard player.
Can I ask you, like, still keep your story, but I do just want to jump in just on one part only because you brought it up.
Go for it.
How was the first time for you actually, like, being in then, like, that band singing for the first time? I know technically you were just jumping in on like one song, but come on, there had to be like something there.
So we learned First Date by Blink-182 specifically so I could sing it.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
So they learned a song for me.
That's great.
I got up to sing it and was scared out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, I would be fucking terrified.
I was 17 when I first got up to do a song.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of this big bar called the Westie. There's like 60, 70 people there. Whole bunch of drunk, hot women. They're all staring at me. I'm scared out of my mind. I'm like, I'm totally going to fuck this up.
Yeah.
Listen to the recordings later. Sounded like shit. Didn't want to go back.
You're 17 sober.
Yeah, I was 17. Yeah, exactly. I was just like, I'm not into this.
God damn.
I actually told Bernie, like, I wasn't going to do the next 2 shows. I didn't want to do it. I told him no. I was going to back out. And he said, that's fine. And then I told him, like, hey, you know what? Let me just get back in the scenes. I don't want to get up and sing anything. And he said, that's fine.
Yeah, cool.
So fast forward, you know, we
we
kicked his brother out of the band. Well, Bernie kicked his brother out.
Yeah.
And we rechanged the format. So we got a new drummer. We got a new guitar player and a bass player. And Bernie wound up actually going to guitar. And then we got a singer. Well, for whatever reason, they decided to learn My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark by Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
And the new singer could hit it, but he didn't want to hit it.
Got it.
So they had me sing it. And it was the first song that I sang after singing just Blink-182 songs, which, to be honest, Tom DeLonge can't really sing all that well, so singing Tom DeLonge songs made it so that... I mean, seriously, though.
Savage.
He can't stay...
Jeremy, you're on my podcast for one episode, and you already started fucking name-dropping...
I'm sorry.
...major people and bombing them.
Right, but he talks when he sings.
My God, Jeremy.
But anyway, so it was easier to sing his songs.
All I'm saying is, Jeremy, where are you?
In your apartment.
But I'm so sorry.
So I start singing My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark. And that song has a relatively high part in it. And I hit it. And that's now my song. So every time I go out, they always do it. I get up and sing it, and it's great.
Yeah.
Fast forward again. And now we get a keyboard player. And the singer left.
And at this point, just to recap, so you're still predominantly doing...
Yep, I'm still doing lights.
But you jump in on the occasional song.
Yeah, jump in 1 or 2 times. So, singer's gone. Now we have a guitar player. Bernie's back to being a singer. We have a bass player, keyboard player, guitar player, drummer. Drummer gets hit with God. Doesn't want to do certain songs anymore. So he leaves the band. He says, I can't sing Crazy Bitch. I don't want to play Crazy Bitch. If my kids can't watch me play it, I don't want to play it. That doesn't go very well, so he leaves. The guitar player at one point just decided, you know what? I want to play acoustic. I don't want to do electric. So he left. Bass player.
Wow.
Yeah. Bass player retired at the end of the year because he had a lot of personal things going on. It was just easier for him to sit at home. He's not going to watch the podcast, but because he doesn't do anything with social media, so he's not even going to know it exists. I'm still not going to go into that. He left for his own reasons, and I don't blame him. He needed to.
Cool.
Bernie then decided he was going to reform. Bernie decided he was going to end the band. Band was over.
Well, I was going to say, with so many people dipping out. Yeah.
And I said to him, I was like, why don't we try something else? And he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, why don't you bring your brother back? It's like, his brother put too much of a focus on go-kart racing. Got it. And he put more effort into that than he did music. So he left for that. Well, he stopped go-kart racing as much. So I said to Bernie, I'm like, bring him back. He said, okay, fine. So we asked him. He was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So then we needed to get a guitar player or a bass player or a singer. Yeah.
You need to get more members.
Yeah, we had a keyboard player. But Bernie was going to do something. He just didn't know what. Okay. So Bernie asked me if I wanted to play bass. And I said, I don't have a bass. I don't have a bass amp. But sure, I guess I'll do my best.
You sound so enthusiastic.
Yeah, right? Well, I was pissed. I thought he was going to ask me to be singer. So I was just like, all right, fine. Yeah, I'll play bass. Whatever.
So in the back of your mind when you did... So just to clarify then. So yeah, when you did bring it up to him, you were definitely trying to more...
I was trying to get in the band one way or another.
You were trying to start your own
I didn't think that I was good enough to be the lead singer because I still didn't have confidence. Like I didn't have any confidence in myself. I was scared shitless to be up there. But I knew that if I got up there and got comfortable I could be better than I was.
How old were you now at this point? Like 18?
No. Oh, this older? Was... How old am I now? 24. It's 2018, 2017, 20... So I was 22. Okay. I was 22 when all this happened. It was December of 2016.
Got it. There we go.
Is kind of when it all started to come back. Okay. So we got the original guitar player back, and Bernie says to me, listen, I thought about it. I'm going to play bass. I want you to sing. I'm like... Great. That's what I want to do. Let's do this. I'm totally in. A week later, hey, I changed my mind. You're going to sing and play bass. I'm going to play guitar because fuck the new guitar player. I was like, okay, I can't do bass lines and sing at the same time, but I guess I'll figure it out. Yeah. Whatever. Fast forward. Guitar player actually comes in. Bernie plays bass. I start singing. Okay. I suck ass. I'm so bad because I don't talk to anybody. I'm just up there. I'm still letting Bernie be the front man because he was the front man for so long. I felt like I was taking his spotlight. I didn't want to be up there.
That's the first time you ever did it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I was starting a band. Like this band had been around already for 5.5 years. So to pick up where they left off, like February of 2017, which is when I started singing, we had our first show. And there was a snowstorm, and a tree fell in front of Paul's house, which is our keyboard player. And our first show, Paul couldn't make it to. Christ. So we did all this practice, and we're prepping all this, and Paul couldn't even show up. So the whole thing was like thrown off, and I was scared out of my mind. But as time went on, I got better. And now Bernie's not in the band. Bernie left because Bernie's going to have a kid, and great for him. The kids actually do within the next month.
There you go.
So it's awesome for him. He's doing great things. And we got a different guitar player and a different bass player. We're actually looking for a bass player right now.
Ooh.
So
shout out to bass players.
Anybody wants to throw in an audition slip, you can comment and get my info and I'll hook you up. Because we need a bass player. Bad. But that's where I'm at now. I kind of control the band. I do the booking. I'm the face of the band. And I don't think I've ever been more confident in myself than I am now because of that. Because of that, though, I now have 2 other projects. I have my acoustic shows, which is just me and a guitar. That's it. Yep. Just by myself. And I've been doing that at one location for the past, 4 years.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, because you've really made, a big, grandstand with it now. But I was just going to say, over the years I've known you, which has been, 5 or 6 years now
Something
at this
like
point?
That,
yeah. You've always done, a couple, solo shows once in a while.
Yep,
so.
And it's always been the same place, the same time of year. It's always been one in May, one in June, one in July, and one in August for the past 4 years.
It's always, the summer. And
it's always the same place, same time, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I got asked to play at this place called the Grand Central Tap Room, which is in this little town called Fleetwood. And they're small. They don't want big bands.
Yeah.
But they wanted better than nothing. Well, we can't give them better than nothing if we can't fit.
Yeah.
So I told them, I'm like, listen, I'll come play acoustic. And they're like, that's what we want. We want you to come play acoustic.
Oh, okay.
They're like, no offense to your band, but it's your voice that we want. I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
That's cool.
Well, no, when I play acoustic, I don't do what the band does. I play different songs.
Oh,
I'll do Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd and Landslide and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'll do Uptown Funk, and I'll do Moves Like Jagger, and I'll do stuff like that. But I don't ever normally play them out. I just kind of experiment with them at home.
Yeah.
Well, I brought that at the last show, and now I got more bookings. So now that I'm doing that more, the acoustic stuff is kind of filling up. But what's cool about acoustic stuff is it's not limited to the weekends like Better Than Nothing is. Mm-hmm. Better Than Nothing is Friday and Saturday only. Mm-hmm. This is, I can do Sunday through Saturday, it doesn't matter. Whatever place wants to do music, and not that I'm a greedy bitch, but getting paid $100 to do Better Than Nothing for 3 hours, and like $250 to $300 to do it by myself for 3 hours is a lot better.
Well, and also too, I mean, it's just it's got to be nice. I mean, like, this is gonna be a weird mirroring, so bear with me. But it's like definitely from usually doing stuff like with people as opposed to just doing something by yourself. First of all, it's just so much easier to do because then you don't have to worry about consulting or doing
Honestly,
anything.
the best part about doing it by myself is if I fuck up, nobody knows because there's nobody else in the room that's getting thrown off. The only people that know I fucked up are me and the people that are really, really paying attention.
That are musically inclined. That are like,
most of the time, I'm playing to a bunch of drunk people in a bar.
Yep.
So they don't know. So it's great. If I fuck up, I can just roll with it and it doesn't screw anybody up.
As a caveat, though, you've been playing for a while, though, so it's not like that's happening every 10 seconds. Like, you're making it sound like...
I fuck up more than you think I do. Like, don't give me that much credit.
Well, see, then that's my poor ear talking. Then, apparently, that more goes to show that than anything.
And then I have my third project, and the third project is brand new.
Yeah, you literally just.
The third project is called Gravity Shot. The third project is, I got asked. Better Than Nothing got asked last May of 2018, to play a benefit for the Blind Association of Berks County. They couldn't do it. I offered to play acoustic. They didn't want acoustic.
Kudos to you on a side note, too. You guys do a lot of benefits.
We try. We try to do as much as we can.
You guys do
It helps us with exposure, but it also helps us, helps whoever we're benefiting.
Yeah, you
like
piece
whatever.
of shit. Yeah, that's
well,
what Jeremy, that's what you lead off of. You're helping people,
right,
Jeremy.
Yeah. I am helping people.
You greedy bitch. Yeah. It gets our name out. And then also, like, Timmy can walk again. Whatever.
No.
He can see, because it's a blind event.
Exactly. Exactly. But... No, we always do two major benefits every year, and they're both for veterans. One is for a local organization called Veterans Making a Difference. That's Winterfest. Mm-hmm. And then we always do Warrior Fest, which is actually coming up in May, and it benefits this company, or this organization rather, called Iron Warriors, and they give service dogs to veterans with PTSD.
Oh,
that's their
awesome.
whole purpose.
That's great.
They train service dogs. They bring them up from puppies. They're great. They're awesome people. But this blind benefit wanted us to do it. And Better Than Nothing couldn't. I wanted to do acoustic. They said no. So I threw together a band. I picked 3 of my friends that I knew were musically inclined. I was playing with one of them since freshman of year.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. One of them was like your buddy in high school.
Yep, and we used to play in his basement all the time, and it was awesome. It was cool. So I said to them, I'm like, hey, why don't we take what we used to do and throw it on a stage? And we did, and we played one show, and it was great. And then my fiance's kids go to this school called Schuylkill Valley, and they had this music fest thing that they wanted to do, and I helped organize it, and I helped play it. So at the end of it, we were called Just Kidding at the time, because we had to come up with a name. We didn't know what to do. We were like, hey, we're a band, Just Kidding. This is the only thing that we're ever doing. So we were like, hey, that's not bad, Just Kidding. Yeah. So we played it. It was cool. Winterfest, though, needed a band for 2019. And at the time, with Bernie announcing that he was leaving, we didn't know if we were going to continue playing. We didn't know if we were going to shut the band down because it was Bernie's band. It was his whole thing.
Yeah.
So
since literally the beginning.
Right. So we didn't know if we were going to keep going. Well, I told the organizer, like, hey, I started a new thing. We have a name. It's called Gravity Shot. Like, let us come in. Let us play.
How'd you come up with a name?
My drummer came up with it.
Oh,
he had a whole bunch of other names. It was like Siren Red was one of the ones that we were throwing around. Mm-hmm. There were a bunch of others, but Gravity Shot.
Don't give anybody any ideas.
Well, I don't even remember them at this point. But Gravity Shot was the one that we thought was all cool. Mm-hmm. So we agreed with it, and it went. But she let us play, and she let us open. So our whole thing was we were going to do benefits because we didn't have a PA system. So if we do benefits, we don't have to worry about bringing our own stuff. We just show up, we play, we go home.
Yeah,
That's what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wound up being a mistake because we played this benefit and now people want us to go play at their venues. And not that I don't want to play more, but it was unexpected. We weren't expecting to get gig offers at a benefit. So we now have 3 shows at 3 different locations, each one where we're paying a sound guy because we don't care about the money. We're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Better Than Nothing is to make you dance. Gravity Shot is so we can play songs that we enjoy playing, that we aren't pressured to play because we're not really getting paid for it because we're paying a sound guy. And I get to play guitar. I don't get to do that in Better Than Nothing. And I don't get to riff solos acoustic. So I can play solo, and we do this thing where we do Come Together by the Beatles and Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd, and we do them together. And we have this huge long jam session in the middle. I can't do that with Better Than Nothing because we're by the books. I don't want to say we're popular. We are popular, but that makes me sound like a douche. But we are popular. We're a popular band.
Well, so, more importantly, it's a more organized professional setup,
right,
where your other one can be more experimental.
Right. So, and with people coming to our shows to hear the songs that they want to hear, they want to hear it the way it starts and the way it ends.
Yes.
And we make them dance.
Better Than Nothing is, now, correct me if I'm wrong, you would say that they're a more traditional cover band.
Traditional,
where they honor the covers.
Right. We try to do our best to imitate the songs as much as possible. Sometimes we put them together, like in our Motown medley that you've heard. Like we do stuff like that, but it's still, we don't change the song. It's that song. It's just a segment from it molded together.
Yes.
That's how we like to do that. With Gravity Shot, we do whatever the hell we want. Exactly. And as long as people are paying attention, we don't care because we're having fun.
Exactly.
And it gives me a chance to do songs that I want to do that Better Than Nothing will never touch.
Yeah.
Like Danny California by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Better Than Nothing's not going to do it because it's not going to make people dance. But it's a cool song. People will sing to it. And that's what Gravity Shot can do.
Yeah.
So I get to do everything that I want to do in music in 3 different segments. It's just, with Better Than Nothing having 42 shows already booked for 2019 at the end of 2018, it's impossible to get the other 2 booked.
I was just going to say, it's definitely your major...
So going into next year, I'm just kind of try to limit things and book like Acoustic and Gravity Shot first. And give them like, okay, well, Gravity Shot has 8 shows. I have 25 acoustic shows between Wednesday and Saturday. Better Than Nothing gets the rest.
There you go.
But I also have to work in vacations and stuff like that.
I was just gonna say, honestly, on top of all of this, you have a full-time job.
Yes, on top of doing
all of that, you have a full-time job.
Yeah, this is a second job. This is all a second job. Coming up with set lists, running. Well, I don't even get to run the Better Than Nothing Facebook, but that's a whole other story. Bernie was an admin, and nobody else was. And Bernie deleted his Facebook, and I cannot be an admin now, so I don't even get to run the page.
Oh, Jesus!
I just come up with the set list and do all that kind of stuff. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Still partially managing the band.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's gotta be
and then
crazy.
my own, acoustic show.
I was
for
about
each
to
one,
say,
that's
what I'm saying. Well, on top of your other projects where you're literally, like your solo act is literally you.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're 100% in charge of that. That's gotta be nuts, man. What do you, like, was there a certain drive that got you to really kick it up by yourself? Or was it just, was it more of a natural thing, or or was there a certain point while you were playing where you were definitely like, I really gotta like get just at least like one step further on it?
Well, it's kind of a combination of a lot of things. It was definitely a natural progression for me to start doing acoustic stuff more by myself. One of the things was a lot of people were telling me how good I was, and I will listen to 1,000 recordings of myself every single day, and I will think I suck. I will never be able to give myself credit. But being that people give me credit, I'm now confident enough from doing the Better Than Nothing shows and getting praise for myself and the band and everything, that I can go out by myself with a guitar, not be nervous in a crowded bar full of frat guys watching college basketball and play whatever song I want without caring about the backlash.
Yeah.
I went in there, I played 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20, and the entire place sang with me. And that's not a song
that's awesome.
Yeah, but that's not a song that you would think everybody would know all the lyrics to. Like, it's not that popular of a song.
Yeah, a bunch of white people would know it.
Well, that's all it was.
Yeah, that's...
But it was cool. And honestly, the other thing that really helped was I got the girl. I finally got the girl from doing the music, and she has been an incredible help with me too, and she's helping manage things in a way.
Okay.
Like, she's helping me do the management side of things. So having somebody by my side, having somebody push me forward, and having people tell me I'm good.
Yeah.
It helps me feel okay up on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah, definitely. Well, especially, fucking, like, on top of bandmates. Yeah, having somebody at home has got to be, like, a fucking million times easier.
And honestly, like, there are times where I'll play, like, I'll do my acoustic shows at the place that I've always done them, the Indian Fort Inn. And there are times where by the end of the night, like, I play 7 to 10 there. By the end of the night, the only people that are there are my fiance, her kids, and my mom.
Yeah.
Like, those are the only people, because everybody else leaves. And they don't clap there.
Yeah,
they're not an interactive place. So imagine playing at the same place for 4 years.
Wait, so hold on, though. But is it one of the things where, like, the audience refuses to, or they kind of, like, insinuate you to not do that to that crowd?
No, it's more of... They're too busy talking to each other, eating dinner, that they don't even know I'm playing.
Got it.
They don't even care.
Because I didn't know if it was one of those things where like, yeah, everybody clap your hands.
No. It's not like that. It's,
okay.
I'll finish a song and get, like, there's no reaction. Like,
Got
it's like, you know, they're all still talking to each other.
Yep.
Nobody's paying attention to the fact that, and that's discouraging.
In that setting, which is kind of weird, but it's almost like it's just supposed to be more of like ambiance and background music rather than be the focal point.
Right. And that is...
Which is odd.
Yeah, and it's discouraging because the owner of the place wants it to be, I'm the focal point, you're here to see my show, I'm bringing people to their restaurant so that they can make more money. The people that show up there, they're just showing up to eat outside on the patio, get their ice cream, and talk to each other.
I've always wondered about that too, like, just, so, like, just for an example there, like, yeah, your band is definitely playing, like, songs and, like, hits and stuff like that. I've always wondered that about, like, jazz bands. Like, I feel like jazz bands have to have, like, the shittiest go of it, and jazz bands are, like, one of the groups that I, like, respect the most.
Well, it depends, though, because most of the time, most of the places that jazz bands will play are places that will attract jazz fans.
Yes.
So if they're there, even if they're playing for ambiance, they're going to get an applause.
Oh, 100%. But that's, like, but you think about that, though, sometimes, if they're just playing, like, some low-key shit, especially at a venue that, like, people don't have an ear for it, you know? And that's got to be nuts. You know, they got to hit that all the time.
The other thing, too, is, like, I know of a guy who plays acoustic stuff, and all he does is country. And he got a gig at a place where nobody liked country.
Yeah. And
he got shot down pretty quick. And it wasn't... Shit. And, you know, I've had that happen already, where I've played a show, and I just got...
Please tell me, can you share, like, your worst fucking experience? That you would like to share, if it's, like, a really bad...
No, I don't really have...
Well, that's good, by the way. That's amazing.
Okay, so I can think of two. One, I played a private Memorial Day party last year. It was a picnic. It was outside.
Okay.
And I played under a carport. It was really fucking hot.
Was this... You were by yourself or with the band?
I was by myself.
Okay.
It was really fucking hot. And I played under this carport with my speaker and everything. And I was just playing to fucking... walls, man. Like, nobody cared.
But you were playing to a bunch of people,
I was playing to a bunch of people. Yeah, you were
playing to, like,
it was a family picnic. There was, like, 75 people there.
Fuck.
And nobody but this little, like, 6-year-old girl was paying attention to me. And this 6-year-old girl was fucking mesmerized.
Like, yeah.
Well, then there was a drunken dude there, and the drunken dude played guitar. So while I took my break, I played 6 hours.
Yeah.
It was a 6-hour
gig. It was a full
gig.
fucking thing.
So I played like 2 hours, took a break for a half an hour. Played another 2 hours, took a break for a half an hour, played the last hour.
Yeah.
Well, in my breaks, the drunken dude decided he was going to get up and play my guitar.
Oh my!
So he just starts playing with my shit and singing into the microphone.
What the
He's drunk off his ass,
fuck?
Doesn't know the songs that he's singing. And I was just like...
Yikes.
The same people then decided they were going to come up and sing with me for songs. Well, I have the speaker out in front of me. I don't take a monitor speaker with me when I do solos.
Well, and on top of it, you're playing by yourself.
Right.
You have
so
a very specific setup.
Yeah, I can't hear what I sound like. So I'm trying to sing louder than they are so that people can hear me, but they really just wanted to hear the drunken guys. It was just it wasn't an awful experience. But they asked me to do it again, and I said no. I told them I'm not doing it this year. I told them, I'm like, honestly, to play 6 hours and to do what I did last year, I'm going to have to charge you like $500.
Yeah.
Like, I have to, because they're up in the middle of nowhere. There was no cell service. So they were requesting songs, and I couldn't look them up on my phone. So the only songs I had were the ones that are in my brain and in my book.
Yeah.
Well, they're asking me fucking like country songs that, like
but
Garth Brooks songs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never even heard the song. So that was bad. The worst experience I had with the band was actually in January. And we were doing Moves Like Jagger.
Okay.
And the song that we were doing next was Cake by the Ocean.
Yeah.
Brand new for us.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sitting there trying to remember all the lyrics while singing Moves Like Jagger.
Oh, fuck.
And normally I'm okay with that because if I've done a song for a long enough time...
You can multitask.
Well, I can muscle memory it.
Yeah.
Well, Moves Like Jagger has a lot of double vocals. Mm-hmm. So in the chorus, in the first chorus, he does the moves like Jagger into the verse while the verse comes in on top of him.
Yes.
So we cut that. And I just do the moves and then go into this, like, I don't say like Jagger.
Yeah.
Well, in the second chorus, I did that.
Okay.
I did it again.
Yeah.
And I totally fucked it up. And I looked dead at the audience while the band kept going and I just said shit and I'm like no, and then I finally picked back up where I was when we got to like the bridge, but it was so bad. I'm just looking at it, just go shit, because I forgot the words, couldn't remember, didn't move the mic, and just shit, and everybody knew what just happened. I'm like, oh no, it was bad. It was really, really bad.
Well, because I was going to say, from someone who, like, I mean, obviously not even close to any type of professionalism, but just every time I karaoke in the car, I do the same thing, though, where, like, my brain is in 80 different spots while I'm actually singing. Like, if I'm not proactively trying to sing well, like, I'm singing to a song, and then, and then I catch myself in the middle of a thought, and then I'm, like, at like fucking line 4, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Like,
well, but see, it's the worst for me because normally I'm focusing on the song. So sometimes I'll be driving and I'm singing the song, and I'm like, wait, how did I get to this red light? Oops, did I hit somebody?
That happens to me all the time.
It's bad.
Music sometimes distracts me in the car so much where I'll like end up being at the destination. I'm like, I don't remember how I got here.
Yep.
I always secretly think of like, there's like 5 stop signs. Did I stop at all of them before I got
driving here? From Berks County to fucking Lancaster every day to go to work, listening to music. There would be days where I'm passing the Effort exit and I'm like, I don't remember the Turnpike exit. I don't remember how I got here. And how fast am I going? Looking down 90 miles an hour. I'm going to get pulled over. I got to slow down.
That's like, that happens to me all the fucking time. But that's got to be crazy, dude. Yeah, bad. Oh, God. That would terrify me, man. I've been on stage once doing it. Even saying it's a performance is an insult. I literally stood up and talked to people for 3 minutes. And ever since then, even before that, I had infamous respect for anybody who can stand up on stage and literally do anything. But
The scariest moment that I've had in my musical career was the very first time I got on stage. Because the very first time I got on stage, I was a freshman in high school. I was brand new. I went to Catholic school. So the only 2 people that I knew were from the middle school that I went to. I knew nobody.
Yeah.
I got up to do this guitar riff medley that I came up with, and I had this shitty little practice amp that wasn't mic'd in this giant gym. And they open the curtains, and I start playing, and the amp just can't push through.
Oh, no.
And they close the curtains, and everybody's fucking laughing.
Oh, no.
I was the laughing stock. So then I looked at one of the other kids that had an amp. I'm like, can I please use your amp?
Yeah.
And
you had to bring your own? I'm sorry they like have one.
No, of course. It's a Catholic school.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
So
they don't know how to rock.
No, fuck that. So
rock and roll's for the devil.
Well, I mean, wait till I tell you what I did.
Oh, okay.
So I plugged in the amp and I started to play.
You slaughtered a goat on stage, is what you're telling me.
I mean, musically, it's kind of what I did. I plugged in my guitar, I started playing, I did the whole thing, and it was great. So before I started doing the rock riff medley, I decided that I was going to play Amazing Grace.
Okay.
But I did Amazing Grace up until like the second line, and then did a pick slide on the guitar and did the Highway to Hell riff. And people went nuts, and all the teachers yelled at me afterwards. But yeah, it was...
Yep. Oh my god, shit.
Yeah. That was the scariest moment that I ever had on stage, because I was just like, I just failed in front of an entire high school in my freshman year. I am the laughing stock of the school.
But hey, it sounds like
I came back.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I came back. It was all right.
You came
back. But dude, dead ass, I wanted to go sit in the corner and cry.
Oh,
I was
God.
so
That would terrify me.
obliterated. I was just like, I'm I'm terrible.
Yeah, I would literally I would just be done. I'd be
I've
like,
grown.
No,
I've grown since then.
Well, yeah, dude, Jesus Christ. You've been performing now for fucking how many years?
6?
Yeah.
6 or 7?
Shit, my dude.
Yeah.
Since I've known you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I've known you, you've been performing.
Yeah.
That's
and
nuts.
I've been playing for 13 years now. I've been playing guitar. 14 years. I started when I was 10. So 14 years I've been playing guitar. Yep.
That's nuts. Do you have like any other type of like? Oh, let me ask it to you this way. Do you have any other like not necessarily like because obviously you have 3 projects going on.
Right.
That's a lot. So I'm not gonna ask like do you have any other projects? Do you have any other like interesting venues or like within those groups that you want to try to experiment with like coming up?
Honestly, I did a DJ gig over the summer last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just used Spotify.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And recently my fiance told me that I'm good with talking to people, which is why you and I are on this podcast doing this dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jesus Christ.
Don't kill your laptop. Make sure it's still recording.
It's the first time. No, it's good. It's the first time it's ever fucking happened. Anyway, continue.
I've honestly thought about maybe trying to pursue a career as a radio DJ.
Dude, dead ass. I'm so sorry because it's gonna sound like I'm stealing it. That's always because I'm not like musically inclined.
Yeah.
But I appreciate music like just
enough
as much
to
as
do that.
Exactly, and that's like always because I'm always the asshole at the party where like if someone's starting up a playlist, I'll be like, ooh. I have a better one. I'll be like, let me play. Yeah, right. I know exactly what'll fit the mood right now. Like, please. And a lot of people give me shit for it, but like that's like the one thing I fucking love doing. That would be dope.
The biggest downside to being a radio DJ, though, is I probably would have to stop music. Because I can't go on there and self-promote myself.
Oh, of course.
And if I'm out in the public eye doing something, I more or less am being considered working. And if I'm working for myself while being a radio personality, don't know exactly how that works out.
I think you could still pull it off. Do you know how many? Well, there's like look at how many radio people do. I mean, now it's ironic. It's almost flipped. You have a lot of comedians going into like radio and doing that.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of like low key radio hosts that end up doing comedy gigs and stuff. And
I just don't know how it works with being in a cover band.
I still think it would be okay. And I feel like if anything, it'd be easier to affiliate.
Yeah.
Just if anything, like there's probably I would assume there's probably some like weird rules or guidelines of like what you can or can't do.
Yeah, some clause that I can't say or
but
do.
There's gotta be like, I don't see that being a problem. Dude, fucking come on. How many fucking radio people have probably tried to do some fucking low-key band?
Well, you got fucking Nikki Sixx who does Sirius XM.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, exactly. Dude, how many fucking radio interviews have you heard going like, man, and like the radio fucking host is like, man, when I started out, and then you fucking, and then they're like, what?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
But I have thought about doing that.
That'd be dope. That'd be amazing.
The Reading Eagle is going bankrupt. And they're losing, which is the local paper company, and they own WEEU, which is an AM station. But if WEEU becomes its own entity and starts an FM station and has a music part to it, I've really thought about trying to like jump on there and doing it.
Bro, you should. You absolutely should. That'd be amazing. How many fucking conversations have we had just hanging out where we've riffed on music for like 8 hours?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, weren't you telling me something about fucking every band? You were telling me something.
Oh, about all the bands going on tour.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bands that are going on tour. And I feel like it's almost every single band you could think of that is still together.
I was just going to say that's like
tour.
not retired.
Yeah. Well, even the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, they had to just postpone their North American tour because Mick Jagger's need medical treatment, but I mean he's like 170.
I was just gonna say.
I mean, but
he's dust in human form.
Yeah, Aerosmith is doing stuff. Pete Townsend is doing stuff from the Who. Roger Waters is doing stuff. Fall Out Boy is doing stuff. Maroon 5 is doing stuff. Godsmack, Disturbed, Slipknot, Tool. Tool is coming
Holy
back and putting an album out.
fuck.
Aaron Lewis, the singer from Staind, announced that he's putting his country... Yeah, that's funny. The singer from Staind became a country star.
Yes.
But he's putting his country act on hold because Staind is getting back together and going on tour.
Please, you had to have seen it. Did you see his blow-up video?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my fucking God. See, do you know the actual story behind that?
Not entirely.
See, I keep getting a mixed thing. Apologize for listeners, this is completely off topic. I keep getting I keep seeing the occasional comment of like, one, it was like totally justified he's flipping out because the audience was being dicks.
Right.
The other thing I heard was like he was actually doing like a military benefit and like the fucking vets in the crowd were actually saying like some type of salute or something to honor somebody, and then he was telling them to shut the fuck up. Like, I'm very confused because it sounds more like it's the first one and the crowd was just being dicks, but
I kind of heard a combination.
Yeah.
Where he was at a military benefit and there were people that were being dicks there, and people are trying to twist it on him, saying that he was
being an asshole. But like it sounded like he literally was just trying to get people to shut the fuck up so he could play his fucking song.
And the same thing, I think it was David Draymond from Disturbed, where he got ripped into because he basically told people to stop making fun of the kid in the wheelchair. Because there was a kid in a wheelchair at like one of their shows.
Oh, okay.
And he was like ripping into people because they weren't caring that he was there. And he actually had the security guards put him on the other side of the gate so he wouldn't be bothered.
Oh, shit.
But he was getting shit because people twisted it on him, said he was yelling at the kid in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
So shit like that happens all the time.
God damn.
But yeah, dude, every band like Goo Goo Dolls and Train are both coming to Music Fest. Live and Bush are going on a co-headlining 25th anniversary of their biggest albums. 16 Stone for Bush, and I don't remember what the live album's called, but it's the one with Lightning Crashes and I Alone. That album, it's their 25th anniversary, and they're co-headlining a tour together. They're coming to freaking Music Fest in Bethlehem.
Oh my God.
It's everybody's going on tour.
Holy shit, man.
It's nuts this year, and there's numerous different like music fests that have... I saw one, it's in I think it's in Tennessee, but it was Godsmack, Slipknot, Killswitch Engaged, Tool, Blink-182, The Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, Ziggy Marley, the
Ziggy,
Wallflowers, like...
I miss the Wallflowers.
The Wallflowers are going on tour with Eve 6 and...
Oh!
Shit. Gin Blossoms, I think.
Oh, but yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
It's never ending.
Holy fuck.
It is... Everybody's on tour.
Are there any shows that you want to go see?
There's a lot that I want to go see. There's a lot that I'm not going to get to see. Godsmack is my number one, but unfortunately, I play that night. I already have a gig, so I can't go. I mean, I could cancel it, but I don't want to be a dick.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep playing it and just miss out on Godsmack, but that's fine. I'll get to them eventually. They're not old enough that they could die from old age yet.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody could die at any given moment, but they're not gonna die from old age yet, so I don't have to worry about it.
You still got time, and the band isn't technically disbanding anything.
They just put out their first album in 8 years, though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Which is very different. They have a very Skillet-esque vibe to them.
Damn it.
Yeah. Well, Sully was like, I want to be different on every album.
I mean, that I understand. There's a band that's coming to mind. I'm totally losing my train of thought on it. There's one band that always tries to be experimental. They always do like different shit. Like every time around, it always sounds different.
Tool.
No, like I mean, yes, but Tool at least has an at least their sound for me is always overarching.
Right.
And 100% though. Yeah, they're very experimental. But I've always known them as experimental. Yeah. But like sometimes you have artists like, okay, I'm definitely jumping ship from where I was talking about, but like Fall Out Boy is a good example. Yeah. Fall Out Boy has themes on albums.
Yes.
And each album sounds very different. Yep. So you can always like when you hear a song, you go, bam, that is definitely on that album.
Right. And each one of their albums is a different, almost like a different style of music, because they went from very punk rock to very pop.
Yeah, they went in a weird direction on their last one.
Yeah.
I can maybe listen to like one of them, and I'm like,
it's not too much.
It bumps me. It hurts my soul. Because the two that I used to listen to, at least back in the day, like fucking religiously, was like Fall Out Boy and then Panic.
Yeah.
And like Panic is now, Panic is now just like the Brendan Urie show.
Yes.
With Brendan Urie.
Well, the only original member that still exists
is Brendan Urie.
Well, him and the guitar player.
Oh, well, yeah, and the guitar player. Who occasionally is on tour.
Yes.
He's not even on tour all the time, which is even fucking crazier. And then Fall Out, like, and I feel bad because like Fall Out Boy, I can't, like, their latest album I just can't listen to, but at the same time, I respect them on a totally different level because like they're fucking like, they have their own essentially like recording company, and they're fucking like they're boosting up a bunch of new artists and everything else.
Is on their album.
Is on their set and stuff. Yeah. So like
studio.
Yeah. So like that's the thing. Like they always find and discover new people and been putting them forward. So like they have a way more bigger scheme now. So they don't need to be like So like that I'm totally on board with. Now, I was gonna bring this up. So one band that I regret not seeing, and I will regret it for the rest of my life, is Jet. Jet's, at least for me personally,
yes.
Jet, I think you know this, but Jet's my favorite band of all time.
Yep.
And I will forever fucking like hate myself that I never saw them live. Do you have a band, whether they're together or not together, but that you've regretted literally up until this point that you've never seen? Like one band that like still in the mental track list, like right now, if I told you, it has to still be within your lifetime.
Okay.
So it can't be a band that like existed and departed before you were even born.
Okay.
So you can't count those, but just like
that band would be Led Zeppelin.
There you go. Oh my God, we have to have to. So, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I do.
By all means,
Godsmack.
Okay, perfect.
Godsmack is who they are on my bucket list. They're who I want to see. I haven't gotten to see them yet.
I am so glad you said Led Zeppelin. I meant to ask you this. Fuck the podcast. I meant to ask you this forever ago, and we have not talked about this. And this is the fucking ample opportunity. I need to know your opinion.
Oh boy.
And I think you might even know what I'm about to ask you.
Probably.
What do you think I'm going to ask you?
I don't know. It's just
What do you think about the band Greta Van Fleet? Yeah.
I am purposely trying to not listen to them.
Yeah.
They are the modern day Led Zeppelin. And I will give them all the credit that they are deserved. Mm-hmm. But when I listen to them, I don't feel like they are airborne to AC/DC.
No,
like,
God, no.
I don't feel like...
No.
Airborne is very like AC/DC. They're
yes.
from the same place. They sound the same. They have the same guitar tone.
Yep.
Greta Van Fleet is Led Zeppelin reborn. Great.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they have to replace them.
Yeah, but
that's what I feel like they're not necessarily purposely trying to do.
Yeah.
But their mark on the rock world is going to be very similar to the mark that Led Zeppelin left. The one thing that I am giving them as a do whatever the hell you want, I don't care aspect.
Yeah.
They might save rock and roll.
See, okay, so I'll say this. I wouldn't even give them that much credit for it. Like, and I'm not deliberately trying to like horribly badmouth them. My biggest problem is when I first heard them on the radio. I was like, holy fuck, Plant's doing some more shit.
Right.
Good for him. And then like the minute I was like, and then I heard like the name of the band was Greta Van Fleet, and I said, oh, good for him. He's doing more shit. That's great. He picked up some newer band members and he's just running with shit. And then I fucking Googled it and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Right.
And so I'll say this. Greta Van Fleet is has one of the best marketing strategies of all time, where they have literally the best Led Zeppelin. They will be forever the best Led Zeppelin cover band of all time.
Right.
And like, I have this issue and I'm calling this right now. This is where I used to do this all the time in the old one, where I'm fucking predicting the future. 3 albums from now. No, 2. 2 albums from now, because they put out 2 albums so far. 2 albums from now, that when they dip low, because they're gonna fizzle out quick.
Oh yeah.
Because their first album, this is the whole issue I have. Their whole marketing strategy is we sound like Led Zeppelin. Yep. That is literally why they got picked up. I'm sorry, that's 100% why they got picked 100%. up. So they got picked up for that. Their second album, they've been trying to break away from that, which I will give them respect for.
Right.
But it doesn't sound great.
No.
Because it doesn't sound like the sound that a lot of people like.
But do you know what it does sound like?
By all means.
It reminds me very much of the Black Keys.
Oh, 100%.
Which, the Black Keys reminded me very much of Led Zeppelin.
Zeppelin.
Here's why I think Greta Van Fleet is important.
Hold on, let me say this though real quick though too. This is what's going to bring them back, but then yet again bring them back for a derpy reason. 2 albums from now, they're going to come out with a Led Zeppelin cover album. And then people are going to lose their shit.
I don't know if they're going to, because
will.
Robert Plant seems to not like them.
Oh, fuck right he doesn't. Imagine if someone had your voice.
He owns the rights to Zeppelin.
Fuck right he does. They didn't Beatles that shit.
I doubt that they're...
It'd be like over his dead body.
Unless he is on it.
Yeah. Oh.
And that I can see happening.
Really?
Absolutely. Because
I think he'd kill
2 albums from now, he's going to be to the point where he needs to still be important.
And
because
do something.
His ego is big. And 2 albums from now, he's not going to be doing shit because Jimmy Page is still saying no to the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I don't know why, too.
Because Robert Plant's a dick. Because he's an egotistical asshole that still thinks he can sing all the same notes, and he can't.
Yeah, he can't. Well, you just get older. You just
when they played at the Kennedy Honors, when they got honored at the Kennedy Center, he could not
hit those notes,
and he tried anyway.
Well,
it was a great, ambitious attempt, but he knew he couldn't do it, and he tried anyway. I mean, honestly, it's like Axl Rose trying to sing "Sweet Child of Mine."
Christ.
But here's why I think Greta Van Fleet is important.
Mm-hmm.
They're mainstream.
Yep.
People listen to them.
And they're getting people to talk about rock again.
And they have a guitar and a bass player and a drum set, and they have a singer.
They have a rock band.
They are what the Black Keys tried to do before the Black Keys went to alternative and pulled the White Stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Greta Van Fleet's not going to do that. They're going to stay... They're like almost what Cage the Elephant wanted to do before Cage the Elephant decided to start doing their own albums.
Well, I love that. They went indie and it was good.
They got out of mainstream. They didn't quite bring rock back, but they did it to their own extent.
Well, that's what I was
Greta Van Fleet is going to slowly bring rock back mainstream, and what I'm hoping it does is take the rock bands that are no longer rock bands, like Maroon 5 and Fall Out Boy, and have them put out another rock album because guitars are cool again.
Dude, I like low key though. Like I totally agree with that, but like I still want Maroon 5 to put out another jazz album like they did with Songs About Jane.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And they had like 1 or 2 rock songs in it. Like they were definitely
like
rock.
Hard to Breathe. And,
exactly. Yeah.
Well, This Love's not really.
No. I was thinking. Fuck. I'm gonna fuck it up now because now I'm on the spot and I can't think of it.
I don't remember all this.
Oh no. I'm gonna fuck it up now and I can't think of it.
Lovely smartphone device.
I can't think of it and it's gonna upset me so much now.
Yeah, I can only think of some of the Sunday Morning, She Will Be Loved, This Love, Harder to Breathe.
It's the one low key one. It's literally like the. Hold on, I have to stop talking so I can actually Google it for 5 seconds.
Okay, well while you Google it,
yes.
Have you heard them ever do their cover of Sex and Candy?
Yes.
It's awful.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's...
As a tidbit of information while you look stuff up, here's a fun fact. Don't listen to Sex and Candy by Maroon 5, because it's awful.
It's 2 of them. Through With You and then Not Coming Home is the one that I was thinking
Not Coming Home is the one I was thinking
Not Coming Home is like literally the live one that they do where it's literally like a big guitar riff in the beginning.
I don't know if I might have to listen to the Through With You, because I don't...
It's a really good one. It has the biggest instrument that you can hear in it, almost like the whole thing, is actually the piano.
Oh.
It's really upbeat.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I remember. Yeah, it's been a while since I listened to that whole album. But...
That's like one of my favorite albums of all time. And then, this sounds so shitty to say this, ever since their first fucking album, which was Songs About Jane, which was so pure, and then mainstream picked it up years later.
Yeah.
It was like the fucking, like, usually indie movie that people find and love later on with music of all things. So they did that, and then they were like, oh, dope. And then they just went, like, super poppy, and I was like, why? Don't. Yeah. And then they went more poppy, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah. Although some of their pop stuff I do like. I will be honest.
Oh, same. Like there's some of their stuff I'll listen to, but like their latest shit, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, the latest shit's not that great.
Even back when they were doing maps and stuff, I could still listen to some of that. Like that was okay.
Their new stuff, like with Cardi B and stuff like that, sucks.
That stuff is fucking terrible.
But I will
look at the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it was so bad. Like his show was so bad.
Yeah. Well, I will be honest. My 3 favorite bands of all time are Led Zeppelin, Godsmack, and Maroon 5.
Yeah.
But Maroon 5 is slowly falling out of that.
It's just killing it for me.
They just need to be better.
Yeah, they do, and they can be.
Yeah.
That's what's infuriating. They can be better.
Like honestly, write another Moves Like Jagger, because Moves Like Jagger is an awesome freaking song.
Yeah, that's debatable. We're 50-50 on that.
It is well
Oh, listen, you can like the song.
It's not a good song. That's not what I mean.
Hold on, I want to edit this clip.
Okay, it's not a good song. It's just really well executed by the right person.
See, you on a different level. See, like I can understand why you like it because you appreciate every value of a song.
Right. The main thing that I appreciate about it is you give it to any other frontman and that song's going to suck.
Yeah.
But you watch Adam Levine on stage dance
only,
like Mick Jagger.
Only Adam Levine can do that song.
Right. And that's why I think it's a good song. And that's why I think they need to do more like that. They need to do songs that only Maroon 5 can do. They need to stop doing songs that Justin Bieber could pick up and it would still be a hit.
Yeah, 100%.
They need to do a Maroon 5 song.
100%. That's why I love songs about Jane, because literally you can pick any, like even the pop hits. You can pick any song on that album, and there's not a band that has done it.
Dude, I'll have to play my acoustic version of Sunday Morning for you one time.
Sunday Morning is my favorite Maroon 5 song.
I eliminate all
song.
piano. It's just me and a guitar, and it's awesome.
It's a beautiful song.
It's so much fun to do.
It's a beautiful song. That's why I love Maroon 5. I got that album. This is where I'm going to sound like a derpy hipster. I got that album the year after it came out.
Okay.
So nobody was fucking listening to it. No one knew who the fuck Maroon 5 was. I got it because of my uncle. It was before even like they got music videos of them. It was literally when I was, oh my god, how fucking old was I? I was still in PA, and it was before I moved. So I must have been, this is gonna sound hilarious, I must have been like 10 years old. I was like 10, and this is where my brain, this is how ridiculous I was at 10 years old. At 10 years old, I was getting into jazz. Like, really into jazz. Like, I was trying to learn, like, a bunch of the older shit. But my uncle was trying to be nice, and he bought me, like, a newer jazz album. Because back before Maroon 5 got big, Songs About Jane was in jazz.
Yeah.
So, literally, he fucking was like, he's like, you know, I went to some, like, record store, and this guy, because my one uncle, like, worships this one record store. So he gave me the fucking, gave me the Maroon 5 CD, and he was like, you gotta check this out. He's like, it's pretty good. And I was like, have you listened to it? And he was like, no. But he goes, but the guy at the record store literally will not shut up about it. And I said, huh. And then sure enough, I start playing it. And of course, I'm like 10. So then I was like telling a bunch of like my fucking 10-year-old friends who were all idiots. And I was dumb too. And I was like, hey, this is a cool fucking album. People should check it out. And everyone's like, fuck off, Nick. We fucking hate your face. And then sure enough, when I was 12, I saw like 2 music videos. I was like, I know this song. And then everyone was like, what? I was like, no, I know the words.
You want to know a fun trivia fact?
By all means.
Do you know what Maroon 5 was before they were Maroon 5?
Oh, I know this. I don't know it.
I just looked up.
Damn it! I don't know.
I couldn't remember either.
I always joke that it's like Burgundy 4, and it's not.
No, it's Cara's Flowers.
That's what it is.
That's what they used to be before Maroon 5. Yep, they were a 4-piece jazz experimental band called Cara's Flowers.
Fuck.
Added a 5th member, became Maroon 5, and put out an album.
I want more jazz. I think that's what I'm learning the older I get. And it's funny because I used to make fun of people that were into jazz when I was younger. Even though I just said I listened to jazz when I was 10, but it was different. But now, I know it sounds dumb. But you know, like, you know what I'm saying?
I get it though.
You know when you get into shit when you're 10, you're like, oh, fucking other people are doing it, but like, I'm going to be fucking different. And it's like, yeah, you're following the same fucking shit. You're just going to figure it out later. Right. I think I've more appreciated subtlety. I think when I was like, because then, once I got into like teenage years, then I was like, yeah, I need fucking like hard rock. Right. And then that was like right even when like new metal, at least like when I discovered like new metal, because like new metal obviously existed way before then. But like then I discovered new metal and I was like, fuck, that's even like they're trying to be even fucking harder. Like, yeah. And then fucking like, I don't know, I think like once I hit probably like 17, I was like, I can mellow out. I'm not as mad anymore. I got all the fucking anger out of my system, at least. At least musically, I can even back that now to some more like mellow shit.
Musically got the anger out of your system.
Yeah, exactly. So then I can start listening to like a more mellow shit, and it definitely like, I don't know. And now it's insane. I feel like at fucking 26, 90% of things are listed under alternative. Yep. And that it infuriates me, but I get it. Because it is this weird middle ground of noise.
Yeah, but you can go from Cage the Elephant to Chance the Rapper to Ashley Simpson and it's on the fucking alternative channel.
Yeah, which I agree. None of them should be in the same category.
No,
whatsoever.
and none of them should be alternative.
Yeah. And only 2 of them should be respected. Are you leaning on 1? Or are you leaning on 3?
I was leaning on 3.
What?
I like Ashley Simpson. She's my guilty pleasure. I like some of her songs.
Listen, I'm just saying. If we're going...
Look, okay, they are fun to play on guitar. They are fun to fuck around with on guitar.
I'm just saying...
I'm not saying I'm going to sit in the car and blast Ashley Simpson on my way home tonight.
That's what I was just going to say.
But they are fun to screw around with on guitar because her guitar player had very simplistic methods.
And then...
But he screwed with them.
As a caveat, too, though, and I've always... understood this from you too. We are on different wavelengths with pop.
Yes,
which is fine. Like, so that's where I always. That's. Where
however, I am still on a different wavelength than most people. Like, fuck Justin Bieber. Like, I won't listen to Justin Bieber. I won't listen to Ariana Grande. I won't listen to any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that stuff's usually just it's already pre-scripted noise.
Right.
A lot of the time, so I get that.
You want to know something funny? You know what artist I absolutely hate?
Oh, God damn it, we're doing this. Go for it.
Adele.
No, don't. She's extremely talented.
She is.
She's so talented.
She is talented, and I love her as a person and as a singer. I just cannot fucking stand listening to her music.
Is it because it's overplayed on the radio?
No, it's because every single song sounds exactly the same, and 90% of them are all in A minor.
All right, well, hold on. So, well, you're right. But she has the voice, though.
She does have a good voice.
When you got a voice like that, you got to kill it.
But when you do the same vocal runs and hit the same high notes in every song, it's no longer impressive.
I hear you.
I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen to a song where instead of a guitar solo, I get a vocal solo, and it's the same vocal solo in every song. I could deal without a vocal solo. I could deal without her. Her falsetto going back and forth.
I can't argue with you there.
I hate it.
But here's what's weird. Like, I'll give you another example. Here's someone who does that same. It's the same type of song dynamic in like every song. He has more vocal range, but for some reason I just can't get into it ever, and that's Sam Smith.
Oh yeah,
Sam Smith.
Same
he has different range,
yes.
And a lot of his songs do sound different. It's not always the same like bump 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 beat, but yeah, it's just like every time
I want to hear him
sing
something not falsetto though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm tired of his falsetto voice, and Hozier is the same way.
Oh Jesus, yeah,
He's
yeah,
the same thing. All three of them are lumped together.
Yeah,
they are soul singers doing pop. And they should stop.
See, but okay, so going back though to guilty pleasures, my guilty pleasure, and this trumps your guilty pleasure by a landslide.
Oh yeah?
Oh, 100%.
Is it Fleetwood Mac because you just said a landslide joke?
No. Fleetwood Mac isn't a guilty pleasure.
No, they're
That's
a great
pleasure,
yeah.
And everyone should appreciate Fleetwood Mac. No, my guilty pleasure only because I'm a dude, and even though it's 2019, everyone should be accepting of everything. No, my major guilty pleasure, and this is what I blast on the radio all the time, is Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow.
She's awesome.
She is fucking awesome.
Okay, so perfect example. Sheryl Crow is going on tour this summer.
Yep.
With Hart, Joan Jett,
right.
and Dorothy.
Fuck right. Yep. New and old.
Yes. But Hart, Joan Jett, and Sheryl Crow in the same fucking show? I want to be there.
Bruh.
I want to be there.
We should go.
We should go.
We should go.
We should go.
We'll hold hands.
I want to soak up the sun.
Yes. Tell your fiance. We're going.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll call her right now.
Yeah, let's fucking...
Are we live streaming or are we just recording? Hey, did you hear this shit, babe?
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, Jeremy. So
Nick.
We had a lot of other topics.
We did.
We're coming up, though, over an hour. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
And we have multiple topics to talk about next time.
Yep.
Because I love you to death, and I'm going to have you on 1,000 times. You're always welcome on.
Sounds good.
It's officially recorded, so now it's official.
All right.
You're always welcome on whenever.
I knew when you said you wanted to talk about music first, I knew we weren't going to hit the other topics.
I know it was so funny before we hopped on this, and just even for listeners, like what I always try to do with every guest is I always try to bring up topics that are relevant to the person, but sometimes try to back it up. Like sometimes if it's just someone that I'll be like, we never talk about this thing, but I know if I brought it up, they would have something interesting to say.
Right. But
you and me have had so much fucking experience talking, especially on podcast type environments. So first of all, that's impossible with you. I can't throw I can't even throw you like a mental curveball of like bleh, like there's no fucking way.
I'll just pick it up.
Exactly. But the worst part between the two of us is we are very great at being able to just like, here's a topic and then riff on it
and then talk about it
till always.
Man, you know what would be a great idea for an episode?
Go for it.
If we had
Are you pitching me an episode?
Yeah, I am actually right now.
Right.
If we had a third person that came up with topics and pulled out topic cards and we had 5 to 10 minutes to talk about that topic without any
to
prior
improv
insight.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
without
fuck.
any prior insight.
Fuck yeah,
that
we
would
could
be
do that.
That would be fun.
We could definitely do that.
Yeah, we gotta do that. That has
would
to be
be great.
that has to be an episode. We just have an improv
So
from somebody.
for anyone, and for kudos for anyone for listening this long. If anyone, and this doesn't matter on any timestamp, if you hear this even like months from now, please leave in the comments when this gets posted on YouTube. Leave in the comments of literally a random subject, and we'll write it down. And on some future podcast that we'll have on, we'll definitely.
Don't be stupid though, and like say turtle sex because it's not happening.
I mean, it's
I'm
a very
not going to rip
subject.
on turtle sex.
Listen, one has to go over the shell, or is it the noises? There's so many things. That's where I think the E meme came from. Jesus Christ.
All right, so maybe they can say turtle sex. We'll figure it out.
That's what I'm saying. We'll figure. Yeah. There's really not a. If anything, we'll filter through the topics beforehand.
Absolutely.
I'm not that worried about it. So Jeremy, like I said, thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely.
You're always welcome
It's my
whenever. Yeah, please always let me know.
I mean, we're going to try to get together every month anyway, so we can always get together, record an episode. You don't even have to post it that month. You can post it later.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what's nice too. I really try to keep the conversations too like very generic. So I can just always, but that's because I'm lazy with editing. But that's a whole different thing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. I always appreciate. Always give the video a like, follow, share, check it out on all the channels. Jeremy, actually, right before I literally wrap this up, I know you kind of brought this up throughout the podcast. Major stuff that you want to plug just really quick. Websites, things to go on, tour dates.
Okay. Well, 3 Facebooks. Facebook.com/BetterThanNothingBand. Facebook.com/J Winterstein Music. And Facebook.com/GravityShotBand.
Bam.
Main one would be the middle one, my acoustic stuff, Jay Winterstein Music. Because if you like that page, you'll see everything for Better Than Nothing and Gravity Shot, as well as my own stuff, which is what I'm trying to put more of an effort towards.
Not to put you on the spot, and I apologize because I already did already.
Oh dear.
Let's say 2 weeks out. Any big tour spots? Locally?
Okay. All right. Well, biggest 2 things.
Go for it.
On April 27th, we play at the Railroad House.
Okay.
Favorite place.
Always the best place.
Always a
It's
good
where
time.
I see you like 90% of the time.
Yep, you should come to that one.
I want to. I haven't seen you
been to a show in a while.
I know, it's been a while.
So, and I don't even know if we're going to have the same bass player at that point. But Railroad House, April 27th, that's up in Sinking Spring. Best thing, though, would probably be Warrior Fest. Warrior Fest is the one that I was talking about earlier where we benefit for the dogs, service dogs, the veterans. It's $10 a ticket, but you see 6 bands. There's 50-50 raffles. There is a Jeep show, which is pretty cool. And then the place has really, really, really good food. And the food's cheap. It's like $3 for a cheeseburger.
Perfect.
But we're the last band to go on. Kids 12 and under are free, so it's a full family event. 6 bands. One of the bands, I'm going to give them a shout out, even though they're not going to listen to this at all. Okay. But they're called Hot Toddies. And they basically are Better Than Nothing, but with a horn section. They have a trumpet player and a saxophone player.
So they're ska.
Dude, they do the impression that I get. They do Real Big Fish's version of
and everything.
Yes,
yep.
It's fantastic.
They ska up.
And the saxophone player's a girl, so they have a female singer then too.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
she'll get up and do like Raise Your Glass by Pink.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
They're awesome. They're gonna play that day too. So
shit.
come see them. Come see us.
And they can see all your tour dates on the Facebook page.
On all 3 Facebook pages.
Perfect. Good stuff. All right, everybody. Thank you again for listening. I will catch you guys all later. And as always, good evening, good night, and good luck. Bye, guys.
See ya.